going nowhere. So family, as your brother, I only know how to keep it real. That's all I know how to do. And so I do need to let you know that I was going to say a few words today. And after I finished saying a few words, I was going up on that roof. And I'm not coming down until we raise what we need to raise. Now, we ran into some legal issues this morning, and we're not making a point to do anything legal, but I want you all to understand how serious this is to us. That your brother, right? Even though his daughter just came home from school, like just now from the airport, right? Was going up on that roof and wasn't coming down until we raised what we needed to raise to keep this staff. That's how important it is to us. Now, I'll tell you what that number is, but first of all, here's why. How many of y'all remember COVID? Just for a millisecond. I don't want to give nobody no heart attack, no flashbacks. Remember COVID? How many of us lost loved ones during COVID? Can you imagine those doctors and those nurses? What were they all called? What were they all called? They were all called essential during COVID. Get that image in your mind. Matter of fact, here's a clearer one. These are the doctors and nurses that work in your community every day. These are the doctors and nurses who works. And so I want you to understand, and Pastor said it so well earlier, we didn't call you here today for a protest. We're not interested in having dialogue with those who are diametrically opposed to our work. If that's where they stand and that's where they sit, then that's where they'll fall. But this is an appeal. This is an appeal to those on all levels. Athletes, entertainers, people who reap rich and know they can support this movement on their own. We're looking for those who love the beautiful weather in Miami, who build multi-million-dollar homes as they should because they earned it. But what have we earned? And what do we deserve with this work? So 2 more things, just so you know for the record. This group you see behind you right now, along with the members of the Circle of Brotherhood, have been responsible for more than 80% reduction in homicides and violent crime in the zip codes that you're in right now. We're not here to call question to our work. We know of its value, but we're here to draw a line in the sand. And I'll say this one thing so that you all understand where we stand in terms of this being a political issue. First, I want to thank former Mayor Jimenez. For those who don't know, it was Mayor Carlos Jimenez who funded our first active community grassroots program known as Employ Miami-Dade. Stopped a lot of violence, stopped a lot of murders, created a lot of love in a lot of homes. I also want to thank former Commissioner Audrey Edmondson, who gave us our first funding, not only for our Save Our Sons program, but she also was the impetus that allowed us to get our first county contract to deal with gun violence. I applaud those individuals. I also applaud all of those individuals who still actively support this work, wherever they may lie. So for us, this is not about politics, but I have to be crystal clear to you. We're not asking for recommendation letters. We're not asking for a vote of confidence on whether we're asking for checks. We're asking for payments. We're asking you to put your money where your mouth has been, lauding on this organization, but not coming through. But don't worry about it. It's no force in this. But we are going to draw a clear line in the sand. And all we're asking for, if you don't believe in this work, then leave us alone. But if you support this work, let's do what is necessary. So this staff, being under jeopardy, not knowing if they're going to get another paycheck or not, they have not wavered. And I'm asking you as a community not to waver. Now, somebody pull that number out for me real quick. One more time. $1,588,227.28. Now, for the deaf person way in the back, one more time. $1,588,227.28. Now, some of y'all said, where a strange number like that come from? When we found out, and for those who don't know, we received an email at 5:35 p.m. on Tuesday, April 22nd, terminating our contract, along with 364 other organizations across the country. So the immediate thing I did is I got on the phone and I called our CPA and I asked, are we going to be able to make payroll this week? She said, we're good this week. And so, scrambling, like other organizations are being forced to do across the country, we were able to secure at least one more. You want to know why I was going up on that roof? Because they go every single day out in the hood, working with our young brothers and our young sisters, transform, and they're essential workers. And what do we look like not believing in supporting our own mission? And so I want you to imagine, because I know the staff has plans from today. I hope y'all plan on working with me just for a little bit longer while we get through this. So the second thing I asked my CPA, and I'm closing with this, and then we'll take questions. The second thing I asked was, because now I got to put on my business hat. See, the work we do is people work. Yes, sir. So if I can keep the people, we can keep the work. If I can keep the people, we can keep the work. But if I can't keep the people, we can't keep the work. And you've seen the signs. When funding goes down for CVI and COB, homicides go up. You do your own math. So my question was, how much money down to the penny is needed for me to keep our staff for 1 year? Because I know if I can keep this team together for a year, y'all don't know what you're looking at. You're too busy watching the NBA and the NFL draft. These are all first-round draft picks right here. Out of over 90 individuals that applied for their positions, these are all first-round draft picks. And I'm not willing to let them go that easily. We got work to do. So when she gave me that number, I said, well, that will be our immediate and first fundraising goal. Now, somebody pull out a calculator real quick and divide that total number by 12 and tell me what you come up with. Because I just told you all that as of after this week, y'all gonna get paid this week. No, for real, y'all clap it up. Y'all gonna get paid this week. I'm not talking about all y'all that got secure jobs where you go. I had to let them know that because I didn't know they were gonna get paid this week until yesterday. But I always let them know the real. Because guess who they are? They're the real. Right? Wait. Tom, one person. What is that number monthly?
$132,460.60.
So the first of you who got that check, you can write that one. Now I don't want you all to think, but I don't have finance, I don't have money, I can't help. Cut that out. Shame on you. I just told you. Right? I was gonna be up on that roof.
We was gonna be up there.
You understand that? You mean to tell me 1 million people can't give $1? I read in the news this past week, $500,000 was spent to break a world record for baking a strawberry cake. Just down south, a $2 million rare bird was stolen. Just last week, some so-called human being had the audacity to call a child a nigger and then raise $600,000 to be relocated. And you don't want us to stand and support their work? So this is an appeal to the world. It's about backing this mission. So what's that total amount again?
$1,598,227.23
is what we need to keep this team together. So if you know people who have something, you know, I think if I was on the roof, we probably would have got it a lot quicker. But it is what it is. Drastic measures call for drastic times. And so don't wait till murder visits your doorstep to want to get involved.